Good afternoon and welcome. I'm Kate Fitzgerald with Brilliant Life Community. I'm speaking with Maria Alfaro, TRE, and Neurogenic Yoga certification trainer and provider. Since 2004, she has taught TRE to over 10,000 people in the US, Europe, Canada, Asia, and in the Middle East. She assisted Dr. David Berselli, who developed TRE, in numerous trainings in the United States, South Africa, Brazil, and Japan. She facilitated hundreds of public workshops and over 130 certification trainings worldwide. Maria is one of the creators of Neurogenic Yoga, the sister method of TRE. She is known for making people feel safe and for creating a compassionate and humorous learning experience. Maria, thank you for agreeing to join me today.
Of course. Thank you for doing this.
What brought you to this line of work?
Well, I've always been interested in the body and how it functions and how it connected to emotions and the mind. And I've been doing and teaching yoga since '86. And I've been also doing martial arts for many years and massage, and also for my own personal healing, because we all have trauma to recover from in our lives. I've always been interested in trauma modalities and how to connect them with the body more than to the psychology, although I did a lot of psychological and psychotherapeutical work myself. So when David, many years ago, the founder, came to my little sleepy university town in California, I heard about it and I just jumped in and did it. And this was 2004. And I never looked back because it's really something different. You know, the amount of investment in time and energy that you put in it, and the results are more effective than anything else that I ever experienced. So I'm really convinced that is one of the many ways that we can change the world, one person at a time.
How did you discover your passion?
My passion for TRE, you mean?
Yes.
Well, it was because by being in that workshop with David, I saw the amazing result that people were having just in a day. So I never saw that before. And again, I did a lot in my life. I explored modalities of all kinds. And so I was very impressed by the fact that people were reporting immediate results. And so that's how my passion started. But then it's been fueled by all the people that I taught. And by the way, after talking with you guys, I actually went back and looked, and I taught way more than that, because I think I taught about 1,800 workshops and under 30 certification trainings. So altogether, I think I got, maybe 20,000 people. I don't know at this point. It's nothing in comparison with David, who taught, I think, 2 million people single-handed all over the world. But still, you know, I think I have quite a bit of experience. And I never stopped being fascinated by what the people reaction and expressions. I've been teaching a lot of free classes in this COVID time, and they are very populated from people from all over the world. And, you know, it's fascinating. People have similar reactions all over the world, no matter what culture or, you know, race or religious or political belief.
What are your qualifications and or credentials?
It's an interesting question, because per se, my education has been very eclectic, because I started with ethnology and sociology when I was in university, but very quickly I decided to leave the university and I started traveling. So I've been traveling all my life, except for the last 20 years, 25 years I've been here in the United States. But I learned many languages, I've been exposed to many cultures. My background is as far as certificates and so, is more about the body again. So I have extensive yoga training. I can train teachers. I have extensive Chinese martial art training. I have a massage certification. But mostly TRE is what I've been doing this last 16 years. So I would say that's my biggest credential. And probably my strength in that, since I don't come from a psychotherapeutical background, is the fact that I've been teaching it in so many different cultures. So I would say my sensitivity to different cultures and social and religious background, you know, like working in the Middle East, working with both the Israeli and the Palestinian, and, you know, being sensitive to the differences and the similarities, and I really thrive working with people. So that's my passion. So I'm having a lot of fun with this.
Wonderful. Are you doing most of your trainings online during the pandemic?
Well, this has been really new because I did my last in-person training in February, so just before the big crisis hit. And since then, yes, like everybody else, I moved my trainings online and I offered. It's funny because I started with the module 2 because it was the group that was already in module 1. But now I have a module 1 schedule in a few days, actually, and that would be the first time I take a group through fully online. And it's going to be really interesting. But it appears that, of course, the cons are obvious. You are not being a somatic modality. It's best to be with people in person, of course. So those are the cons. The pros, however, are way more numerous because there's the fact that people will not be able to travel somewhere, either because they cannot afford it or because they cannot afford to be away from home, can come and doing it in there, and so we can reach so many more people. And also the fact that there is a self-regulatory quality of being at your own house when you do something like this.
Oh dear.
People seem to, when I do these free classes, for example, a lot of people, there are all the little boxes, and a lot of people have their dog there or their cat, they pet their pet, so they feel safe at home, it's something that induces them to relax more. And people still report having a good connection with others and being able to feel the group energy. So it's actually working out. I was a little skeptical at the time. We had to do it because we didn't have choice. But now I taught many workshops and many classes and a couple of trainings, and I feel like this is working out. It's good.
Good. So, who are your clients?
Well, I do work a lot with private clients, although if some people want to work with me, of course, I take them on, but mostly I train people. So I work with the public in the form of workshops and classes because I like to reach more people. And my trainees, I mean, the people that come to my trainings are mostly people, I would say is a 70, 30%. 70% of the people that come to my trainings are people that are already working with humans in some capacity. Either they work with their body as a massage therapist or chiropractors or acupuncturists or rolfers, or they work with their psyche, like a psychotherapist, social workers, etc. So I can give CUs here in the States to these people. So here in California to therapists, psychotherapists, massage therapists, and acupuncturists, and nationally to body workers of all kinds. And so basically a lot of those people come both because they're interested for themselves, they want to use it with their clients, but also because for patients, but also because they get CUs. So it's a win-win situation. So I would say, yes, a good number of people are people that work in the healing modalities of some kind, but also people that want to change profession or simply people that fall in love with TRE and want to be able to teach it to others as a side thing. And funny enough, some of these people are really good. People who have no background at all, because they are naturally attuned with the other human beings. That's a gift, that you cannot be trained on. So some of the people that don't have necessarily a professional background in the field, they can be a really good provider.
Great. And the age range of your clients?
Oh, that's my well, clients, in classes is really, but even in trainings, I would say the younger person I ever had was 19, and the oldest person I ever had was 87. But I would say that the range is mostly, people between their 30 and 60 is more average. But anybody is welcome because, again, this is a body modality. So if you have a body, you can do it.
I like that. Okay, so you have facilitated a lot, as we clarified, but in our earlier notes, we had 133-day trainings, and since 2011, it says over 2,000, but probably many more have attended your trainings. And you've taught hundreds of public workshops worldwide, reaching over, again, 10,000 people. Tell us a little bit more about that. That's got to be so exciting, the variety, the range.
Yes, I feel very lucky because I think I exhausted my desire of traveling, meaning now since we cannot go anywhere, I feel like I've been anywhere and everywhere, and I can go there again, but I will not feel the lack if I don't, okay? So as I said before, I always liked traveling. So I started traveling when I was 17, and I'm now 62. So I feel like it's always been my passion. Probably since my mom doesn't speak English, I can say this, probably because I wanted to get away from my family and as far as possible from them. So that's one of the positive effects of trauma, you know, that I use it as a fuel to actually explore the world and get as far as possible from my family of origin. So I always feel interest for other cultures and other people and other, I mean, I went cross country to India from Italy in 75, and in 77, I spent time in Afghanistan, in Pakistan, in Iran. So since a very early age, I was always fascinated by the multi-diversity, cultural languages, and how people live. And so this work, since I traveled so much before meeting David and starting doing TRE, for me it was a no-brainer, literally. I had friends all over the world, so I started connecting with these people and say, hey, you know, I'm teaching this great thing. Would you be interested in hosting a training? And so that's how we began, you know, in Indonesia, in Jordan, and in other countries. And then, you know, it's like a snowball that affects. Like I used to live in Holland, so I contacted my friends in Holland. We did a couple of really successful training there. They were the first ever offered in Holland. Somebody from Belgium came. I ended up teaching for the Belgian Institute of Psychotraumatology. I did trainings for them for 7 years. So I went to Belgium 2-3 times a year for a long time, until we created somebody who can do it in their local language, because already they speak 2-3 languages there. They don't need English on top. So anyway, and also Neurogenic Yoga, I get invited to teach that. So I went to all the Scandinavian countries and again back to Bali. So it became it organically merged and became one with my life, which was always a life of exploration and meeting others. And so I feel like I was very fortunate that the time coincided with the fact that we could still travel a lot, because I see that changing. I personally don't want to be seen on a plane for a while. So I think it was a very fortunate thing, and now I still maintain relationship and friendship. And you know what? I can do online workshops in Australia, wherever they want me. I can still do that because I still have friends.
Right, because you set up the relationships in person. How nice. That's wonderful. What sets you apart from other TRE trainers? What makes you unique, or your classes unique?
Oh, well, I think all the trainers are wonderful, of course, otherwise they would not be there. What makes me unique probably is my cultural exposure to cultural diversity, meaning having taught in so many different countries probably gave me just a more wide eye on the human experience, which probably makes up for the lack of psychotherapeutical training. But again, I've been in psychotherapy since I was 14, so I'm familiar, and I lived at Esalen in Big Sur, California for a few years, working and studying there. So although I don't have paperwork to back it up, I have a lot of experience, personal and otherwise. So I think my strength is probably the multicultural, the fact that I can do supervision in several languages, the fact that, I will say my friends will say that probably my greatest gift is that I'm kind of funny and goofy. And in a trauma environment, that's a great quality to have, because if people laugh, then they don't take themselves so serious, and they can they can move through stuff with a lighter step than, if we go so so deep into, basically we can, yeah. I mean, in my classes, people laugh more than they cry. Of course, the both are welcome, both release tension from the organism, but the laughing is more socially accepted and make people feel more relaxed.
Wonderful. Tell us about neurogenic yoga.
So basically, since I teach yoga, I do it since 85, and I teach it since 97. David knew that there is a lot of interest in the yoga community about this work. And so he asked me and another yoga teacher who is also as a friend, but also she's a TRE trainer. She asked us a few years back, probably was 2014 or so. He asked us to create a similar modality, basically to expand on what he does, and instead of using those exercises that for yogis, are a little, I don't want to say the word boring, but they're a little stiff. For yoga. So to create a way to that was more appealing for yoga people, and so neurogenic yoga, basically instead of using the 7 exercises that David created to induce the neurogenic tremors, we use yoga. And so it's a more flexible practice, because instead of being the same routine that of course can be modified to accommodate people injuries or need, people can use a variety of yoga. So they can do very gentle yoga, whatever yoga they like to practice, either very gentle to very vigorous and everything in between, to activate the same natural response. Of course, TRE, the beauty of TRE is this for everybody. My mom is 84 years old and she can do it. She modified things and now she doesn't even need to do the exercise. But basically, she will not do yoga, but she can do TRE. So neurogenic yoga is only for people that love yoga, or at least are interested in yoga, because otherwise it's another stressor, if you have to learn something that you don't like, Yeah. So neurogenic yoga is for yogis or people that would like to do yoga, even if they're not advanced in any ways, while TRE is for everybody and anybody. That makes sense?
Yes, thank you. I understand that you're teaching an online TRE global certification program, Module 1, on July 18 and 19. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Of course, and people can also go to my website, trecalifornia.com, to see all the details. But basically, as I was saying earlier, this will be the first time that I take a group through the whole process online. I've been taking groups partially online through the process because they already started in person. So I'm excited. So far, I have 12 people sign up. I don't think I will take much more than 15 just as a start. But because with my in-person trainings, I could take, 30 people or so, because in person, then if I have a lot of people, I have assistants. So I will have assistants for this one too, just to keep an eye on things. But I've been doing a lot of classes and workshops, and some at 30, 35 people since COVID started. So I feel confident that it will be a good experience. But basically the program, that's not just me. The whole TRE program has changed through different meetings and a lot of work online and talking to each other. So before, it was most people were teaching it in 2-3 days workshops, module 1 and module 2. And now they break down that because it's too much for people to be online for 3 days. And since they don't have to travel to do it, so it's more digestible, we do 3 2-day workshops. And I think this is going to work like a charm. Also, some things have been changed a little bit, tweaked, because they could not be taught easily online. And I think actually other things that, in my opinion, are more important emerged that we're going to teach that we were not teaching before. So, in other words, now that I get over the fact that I prefer, of course, to be in the same room with my students, I think that this program is going to be, not just mine, but the program in general is going to be so much more informative and well distributed and more digestible. And I think we're going to rock it. But of course, if people want to do it soon, they can come in just a few days and do it with me. There's still 3 spots.
Oh, that's wonderful. Thank you. Do you have any articles or blogs that you'd like to share with us, or just links?
No, but what I can recommend to people is to join David Berceli YouTube channel, because he posts so many things there, and also his Facebook page. David Berceli is pretty famous and easy to find. And I think there they will find a lot of very interesting, because David approaches like you're doing, is to interview people that are doing it, or show people tremoring, or basically expanding and people that it's best for people who tried it before, because otherwise, if you see a lot of people shaking, you might think that you have to shake that way. So that's my only consideration, while people can shake in many different ways, from very subtle to more vigorously, and it's all good. So it's good not to have a preconceived idea of what it should look like, because different people will express it differently. By the way, did you try it?
I have not. I need to.
I would love to invite you to, would you like to attend one of my workshops as a guest? You know, they're only 2 hours, so you will learn everything about it and you will experience it. It's a pretty fun thing to do.
That would be fabulous. Thank
All
you.
right, so I will send you my schedule so that you can choose one that works for you, and then you just let me know and I will put you on the guest list.
That sounds great. Thank you. I appreciate that. So you were born and raised in Italy. What brought you to California? Oh, always.
Well, I was in love. Well, actually, as I said, I travel a lot. So I came to California just to visit some people that I met in India, and I fall in love. And so I stayed. And then, you know, love comes and goes. So after 7, 8 years, we were not in love anymore, but we're still friends. And at that point, I was still in love with California anyway. And I made a living here, and I felt at home here, so I stayed.
Oh, that's wonderful. Fabulous. Anything else you think that we should know about you, what you do?
Well, you know, as again, I'm just a vessel of a very incredible, amazing modality. I cannot tell you, and that's why I want you to try it. You know, this has been changing my life, and I almost every week I receive a couple of emails from people that tell me this changed my life, and pretty quickly. So I feel honored and lucky that I found something that, because, you know, after 20 years of teaching yoga, frankly, I was bored, not just with teaching it, but also with the fact that people, you know, it's like pulling teeth. You know, people come one time, they don't come. So it was not very satisfying as a experience for me, and I need to feel good about what I do. And so with this one, I feel so good about what I do, and also I feel that because I'm the living proof. You know, it's not that I don't care about what's going on. I care deeply. At the same time, it doesn't affect me emotionally. And this is thanks to this work, you know, because I can let it sizzle through me. You know, it's not that I don't get mad sometimes watching the news. So I last for a minute, you know, and then I am back to being happy, being in my body, and that's a gift. So I feel like this has been so transformative and enriching at the personal level for me and my own body, but also I feel like I affected the life of so many people. And it's not about me, so it's not me, but I was lucky to receive this gift that I can share with others, and I think I'm good at it. But the gift itself, I was good at teaching yoga too, you know, but I never reach all these 1,000 people. It's because the modality itself is truly revolutionary. So yeah, so I feel blessed and I feel grateful, and I count my blessings every day.
That's wonderful. Well, I want to make sure that everyone remembers to check out your online TRE Global Certification Program, Module 1, on July 18 and 19. And for more information, you can go to trecalifornia.com to get more information on that. Maria, thank you for your time today. We appreciate all the good works that you're doing, and I look forward to speaking to you again.
Thank you so much, Kate. So I have your email, so I will send you something about so that you can check it out. I would really love you to attend once.
And I would love to do that. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Have a wonderful day, Kate.
You too. Bye.
Bye-bye.